Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is your favorite YouTuber Mukesh Soni. Dear friends, in this video I'm going to summarize a very important play, Death of a Salesman, which is written by the famous American author Arthur Miller. And this play is in the syllabus of third semester BCom General English under Bangalore City University BCU, as well as this is also play for all the English literature students. So let's begin it. Death of a Salesman is a modern American tragedy written by Arthur Miller in 1949. It's regarded as one of the greatest plays of the 20th century. It won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1949 and the Tony Award for Best Play. The play focuses on the life of an ordinary man whose name is Willie Loman, and his struggles with personal failures, family pressures, and the unfulfilled promises of the American dream. Now, what's the plot overview? Let's have a glance. Okay, wait. Characters. So we have the most important character. His name is Willie Loman, who is the protagonist, the tragic hero. He's a very ordinary man who struggles with his dreams versus reality. Then Loman. Linda Loman is the wife of Willie Loman, very loyal, very caring wife. Biff Loman. Biff Loman is the elder son of Willie. Then Happy Loman. Happy Loman is the younger son of Willie. Then Willie Loman. Charlie and Bernard. They are the neighbors who highlight Willie's failures, and that shows a contrast between the hard work and reliance on charm or any magic. So let's have a glance at the plot overview, a kind of an outline of this play. This play is going to tell the story of Willie Loman. Willie Loman, who is a traveling salesman who is getting aged and he's struggling to earn a living, and he's obsessed with success and one idea that is being popular will lead to wealth and respect. So one idea has framed in his mind that if you become popular, that's going to bring success. So he's obsessed with the feeling of success. He lives in a world of memories and the illusions, often reliving moments from the past when he and his family seemed happier or more promising. So as the play progresses, Willie's inability to accept reality is getting is creating tension with his family, and that leads to conflicts and emotional crisis. The play ends tragically with Willie's suicide because he believes that his death and the insurance money will give his son Biff the success which he could not achieve. So that is the overview of the play. Now this play is in the three important Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So there are three acts. We will discuss this play in the course of the acts. So each act I'll summarize very briefly or maybe to some extent elaborately. So for each incident, I should say the chronology of the events. I have given some headings, some titles, so it will be very easy for you to remember. So please do have some patience. That's going to be the longest video. Act 1. So what title have I given here for Act 1? Illusions and False Hope. Let's see how. So the play begins in the Willie Loman, the Loman family home that's in Brooklyn, New York, in the late 1940s. The house is very simple, modest, which shows family's ordinary economic condition, not a rich house. Now here, Willie Loman, who is a traveling salesman who travels from place to place, and he returns home exhausted from a business trip. He seems mentally and physically tired, frequently talking to himself. Sometimes he talks to himself. That shows that there's a kind of a confusion, a kind of a depression he has. He talks about the pressure to earn money and his fear of failure. Sometimes he mixes the realities with the memories that shows that he's struggling to accept the present. Then then what happens? The another character appears here, Linda. Linda is Willie's wife. She's very loyal, loving, and caring wife. She notices that Willie Loman's stress and she asks him that why don't you take a rest? She suggests him to take a rest. She worries about her husband's health, Willie Loman's health, because he has been driving long distances for sales and returning home tired. So Linda tries to comfort Willie and support him emotionally. For example, she reminds him to eat properly, not to be so hard on himself. Later, I'm not going to read the themes. Willie talks about his work and he says that he has been struggling to make sales. He also talks about Biff and Happy, about his two sons, and he shows pride as well as disappointment. So Willie constantly, continuously reflects on the past when Biff was a high school football star and he was full of potential. Now, Biff, who is the elder son, he has returned home after failing to find work in the West. So even his elder son is also in search of work, but he has not got any work. He's disappointed and confused about his life. Willie criticizes Biff for not being successful and blaming him for wasted potential. So, as we have seen, father is so frustrated and who is again showing his frustration over his son who has been trying to get a good quality job. Biff, in return, he feels frustrated because his father does not understand him. So, despite his failures, Biff is still a symbol of hope for Willie, who wants him to succeed. So, Happy Loman, who is the younger son, he works in a low-level office job. The elder son is still in search of job. The younger son is working in some office job. Happy tries to make his father Willie happy by boasting about his social life and women. So, unlike Biff, Happy hides the truth about his failures and he always pretends to be successful in front of his father. He represents superficial ambition and a desire for approval. Now, Willie frequently slips into flashback of the past. As we know, Willie's habits, he always looks into the past and starts comparing the present. He remembers the moments when Biff was admired and successful, when Willie left confident in his career. So these flashbacks blur the line between the past and present that highlights Willie's mental confusion. He also imagines the conversations about his deceased brother, Ben, who was a symbol of success and adventure. So Willie always lives in the past, in the memories. So Ben, his brother, represents the idea that fortune can come through risk and opportunity, which Willie doesn't like. Willie doesn't like the ideas of Ben. Willie thinks that some charm, some magic, some jadoo will happen in his life. That's not possible. So Willie believes that being well liked is the key to success. Meaning to say, if you're famous, you will become successful automatically. So Willie emphasizes that the charm and personal attractiveness will make a person more rich and famous. So Biff, his son, does not agree with this idea. Biff feels that Biff feels that hard work and honesty matter more than popularity. So this difference is creating a kind of tension between father and son, between Willie and Biff. So Linda, uh, Willie's wife, she tries to mediate between Willie and his two sons. She becomes a mediator to calm down the situation. She warns them not to fight, and she tells Willie that he should not be too harsh on his son Biff. She also senses Willie's mental instability. She fears that he may be having a breakdown. Then Biff starts to realize that his father's ideas about success are unrealistic. He feels trapped by Willie's dreams and he begins to question his own choices. So this is going to conflict, this is going to create a conflict between dreams and reality, and that is we have seen in the Act 1. So what are the key points of this Act 1? Number 1, reality versus illusion. So Willie cannot accept reality and continuously he lives in the memories and the fantasies. Second, the American dream. Willie's obsession with being well liked, popular, and successful, that's going to create the tension here. Father son conflict. So we have seen here Biff and Willie. They have different ideas, different views on success. That's going to create a friction between them. Failure and disappointment. The family struggles financially and emotionally. And finally, we have seen in the Act 1 mental health. Willie's stress and confusion is going to show a hint that that is a very deeper psychological problem Will is facing. So that's about the Act 1. Now we are moving to Act 2. Act 2, Confrontation and Collapse. That's the title of the Act 1. It's something like sometimes you watch the web series and you find the each episode title. Similarly, this web series of Death of Salesman, I have given a title to each act. So Confrontation and Collapse. Now, where does this Act 2 takes place? The Act 2 takes place the day after of Act 1, mainly in Loman House and afterwards in a restaurant, which shows the pressures in the Loman family's life. So Willie wakes up, he's very restless, very frustrated. He's still obsessed with Biff's potential success. He still believes that his elder son has a lot of potential, and he believes that Biff can achieve great things if he just follows the right path. Will is also preoccupied with his own failures in business, and he feels desperate to secure better life for his family. Willie hopes to see success through Biff, even though Biff has doubts about fulfilling his father's dream. So Willie has started to see success in the life of Biff, and still Biff has not yet settled his life. Then, 1 minute, just a minute. So Happy Loman, the younger son, is going to trying to impress Willie with his work and achievement, though that is also again exaggerations, not exactly the true picture. Biff is very skeptical and tried of his father's unrealistic. I'm sorry, he's tired of his father's unrealistic expectations. So there's a tension between father and son is getting increased in the family because Biff wants to face the truth about their lives. On the other hand, Willie is again uh, continues to cling to the illusions. He still has the illusion that if he becomes popular, he's going to be the most successful person in the life. So here, Willie considers asking his boss for a non-traveling position. So Willie asked his boss that why don't you give me a such kind of position in the office where I need not travel, because he's tired of traveling and he feels he's too old for such kind of tiresome work. He's nervous because he feels that if he asks, he may get rejected. There will be some rejection. So he wants to maintain his dignity. So Willie's anxiety reflects his growing insecurity and fear of failure. So he doesn't try here. Then Biff, his elder son, is determined to make his father face the truth about their lives. Biff hopes that honesty will free Willie, his father, from illusions. Biff knows he cannot fulfill Willie's dream of success in sales and he wants that his father should accept the reality that there's no success in this particular profession he's pursuing. So what happens? Willie, Biff, and Happy, both sons and father, they go to a restaurant to celebrate and to relax. Biff tries to talk openly about his failures and he tells his father that he's not going to become a successful businessman. He says that he cannot become a successful businessman. Willie refuses to accept the truth. He insists on his dream that Biff will become wealthy and famous. Happy, the younger son, continues to support Willie's illusions, avoiding confrontation with reality. So the younger son follows his father's footprints. Willie's mental instability gets more worse in this act 2, and he continues to slip into memories and hallucinations, speaking to people from his past, like his brother Ben. But his brother is very successful because he has taken the risk. He borrows money secretly to maintain appearances, showing his desperation and inability to cope with reality. So Willie continues to cling to the idea that Biff one day will be successful because of charm and popularity rather than hard work. However, Biff tries to convince Willie that they have been living a lie. This conflict shows the theme of illusion versus reality, which drives the play further. So, what are the key points in this Act 2? We find here the main ideas in the Act 2. Willy Loman, who is obsessed with the American dream, he refuses to accept reality and mentally is getting worse day by day. Biff Loman, his elder son, begins to assert himself, challenges his father's illusions, realizes he must live honestly. Happy Loman, the younger son, continues to avoid reality, pretends to be successful, and he represents superficial ambition. Linda, she's the offstage, Willie's wife. She worries about Willie. She continues to support the family and she tries to maintain the peace. So that's about Act 2. Then we are moving to Act 3, Requiem. Requiem means to say some sort of song which is on the death of somebody. So obviously the title which I given for the Act 3 is the Death and Realization. I'm sorry, there's a spelling error. Kindly excuse me for this. It's typo error, realization. There's a spelling error. Now, where does the Act 3 take place? The final act mainly takes place in the Loman house and in Willie's mental world through his memories and hallucination. This act deals with the consequences of Willie's actions, the resolution of family conflicts, and the tragic ending. Let's see how. So, Willie Loman is mentally unstable and very desperate. He has fully lost touch with reality. He believes that his death could help his son Biff succeed. So finally, he has thought if he dies, his family will get improved or his son can be successful. So he continues to talk himself, often slipping into memories of the past when he felt successful or admired. His hallucination often involves his brother Ben, who symbolizes the success in future which Willie had never achieved. So one time he lives in the past, another time he starts hating his brother Ben, who took the risk and who has become more successful. So Willie always imagines a kind of charm, a kind of magic is going to happen in the life, and he'll be successful. So Biff attempts a final honest conversation. Finally, he talks with his father, and Biff tells his father that he's not going to pursue the career in business that Willie has already dreamt for him. He does not want to live a life which is based on lies or illusions. So finally, he has told his father. Biff urges Willie to accept reality and stop chasing the unattainable American dream. What's American dream? Successful, popular. So what's the conflict here? Willie is not accepting the truth. He's clinging to the hope that Biff will succeed if Willie sacrifices himself. This shows the tragic flaw of Willie. He cannot let go of illusions even when confronted with reality. So, what happens finally? Believing that his life insurance money can give Biff the success he could not achieve, so Willie decides to commit suicide. He thinks that committing suicide will give Biff a chance to live the life which Willie dreamed of, dreamt for him. This decision is the turning point of the play that's called the tragic climax. Willie's death, Willie dies. Willie's death represents both the failure of the American dream and the extreme cost of living in illusions. So, aftermath, requiem. After Willie's death, the family and the neighbors they just gather. Linda Lohman, Willie's wife, mourns deeply. She expresses grief and anger over Willie's death. She struggles to understand why Willie felt the need to take his life. Why did he commit suicide? Biff Lohman, his son, reflects on his father's life and mistakes. He rejects Willie's dream of wealth and popularity, choosing instead to live honestly and independently. Happy Lohman, the younger son, he tries to rationalize his father's death. He still clings to illusions of success like his father. That shows the generational difference in perception. Look at what Biff thinks and what Happy Lohman, the younger brother, thinks. Charlie, the neighbor, and Bernard, two neighbors, they show some contrast. Charlie tells Biff and Happy that hard work, not charm. Not any charm, not any magic. Hard work leads to success. That contrasts Willie's philosophy. Bernard, the another neighbor, has achieved real success through effort and perseverance that shows what could have been if Willie valued work over popularity. So finally, the Act 3 concludes here with this note. The play ends with Willie Loman's death, a tragic consequence of his obsession with popularity, success, and the American dream. Biff gains clarity about his own life, rejecting the illusions of his father. Linda mounts Willie, but the family's future remains uncertain. The play criticizes societal pressures, showing how the pursuit of success without self awareness can destroy lives. So let's conclude the play here. The concluding remark, I'm sorry. Death of Salesman, hence the Death of Salesman, this play is a modern tragedy which portrays the life of Willie Loman, an ordinary salesman who struggles with the gap between his dreams and reality. The play exposes the dangers of blindly chasing the American dream, which equates success with wealth, popularity, and personal charm rather than hard work and honesty. So, Willie Loman's tragic flaw, Willie's obsession with well liked, and achieving material success prevents him from seeing reality. His inability to accept his own limitations and those of his family leads to personal and familial tragedy. Second, family realizations. Biff learns the truth about his father's illusions and decides to live on an honest and independent life, rejecting his father's unrealistic dreams. Happy, the younger son, however, continues to chase superficial success, showing that illusions can persist across generations. Linda Loman, Willie's wife, mourns deeply. That highlights the emotional cost of Willie's obsession. Critique of American Dream. The play critiques the belief that charm, popularity, and material wealth automatically lead to success. Willie's life demonstrates that this belief can lead to disappointment, disillusionment, and tragedy. And finally, symbolism of Willie's death. Willie sacrifices himself, believing his life insurance will help Biff to get success, but this act reflects the futility of living in illusions. His death underscores the psychological and emotional cost of pursuing unrealistic dreams. So, what's the moral of the play? What's the moral we learn from this play here? We learn that true success and fulfillment come from self awareness, honesty, and hard work, not from any illusions or societal pressures. The play is a cautionary tale about the dangers of living in denial and the destructive power of unrealistic expectations. So, never ever have the expectations from anybody. Just work, keep working, keep working. Definitely, one or the other day, we are going to get success. Always remember in the life, magic doesn't happen. To get the magic happen, we need to work hard. So that's the reason that there's no substitution of hard work. So thank you so much for your patience, for listening to me, and I've tried my best to summarize in the form of the thematic summary I have given here act wise. So thanks for watching, and stay in tune with my channel. Any questions, any queries, you can reach me on the given email ID. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please do subscribe, forward this video to your friends, to your classmate, and let's learn this lesson from this play, Death of a Salesman. Thank you once again.